Coming up next, part 2 of the Sunday double feature. Elizabeth Shue takes the neighbor's kids along on a wild spree through Chicago. Adventures in Babysitting on Showtime. In a cult of blind faith.
How we worship is no concern of yours.
Lies a world of blind ambition.
This is sacred land, my father's land.
Anybody here know of an outfit called the Colorado Water Company?
They want our water.
Gotta make it look like an accident.
Charles Bronson, messenger of death. Thursday on Showtime.
Your mother just slit her wrist. She's bleeding to death, huh?
I think she's dead.
When was the last time you raped a woman?
I know where you live, partner.
You're telling me you sent me a bomb in the mail?
Talk dirty. Talk tough. For Eric Bogosian, the only thing worse than dead air is a dead host. Talk radio. Premiering Wednesday on Showtime.
Want to feel what it's like to be Super Dave?
No way, Jose.
Then follow Super himself as he launches his new water spectacle.
Very exciting.
Ride the Wild Goose.
Blindfolded, it's more fun.
Fans, do you dare him?
Oh, my gosh.
Do you defy him to be the first?
I'm reaching new heights.
Witness the splash heard round the world.
Oh, this is going to be a ride and a half.
On the next all-new episode of Super Dave.
Premiering Friday on Showtime.
Hi, I'm Howie Mandel, and I'm telling everybody about my new Showtime special. I'm real excited about it, and I'm telling everybody. Come on. Excuse me. I'm Howie Mandel, and I'm telling everybody about my new Showtime special. I haven't done a stand-up special in 5 years, and this is all new material. I'm real excited about it. It's my first special with Showtime, and it's called Hooray for Howiewould.
Look, I'm going to call the police.
Well, that's a good idea, and I'll call the Teachers Association and the fire department. We'll tell everybody. I really appreciate your help. This is going to be great.
Hooray for Howiewould, premiering February 3rd exclusively on Showtime.
I am an entertainer.
As a playwright, actor, and 3-time Tony Award winner, Harvey Fierstein is best known for his touching and enlightening looks at an unorthodox lifestyle.
I need a man.
In the screen adaptation of his most well-known Broadway hit, Fierstein co-stars with Matthew Broderick and Anne Bancroft.
Short song Trilogy, the movie, is a man's story, a life story of a man trying to find his place in the world, a world that isn't necessarily built for him. And he builds because he's brave of spirit and true of heart, builds a place, builds a world within the world for himself to exist.
Semi-autobiographical, it's the story of a man struggling with the expectations of his family and the world around him.
That's right, Ma, you had it easy. You lost your husband in a nice, clean hospital. You know I lost mine. I lost mine on the street. That's right. They killed him on the street. 27 years old, laying dead on the street. Killed by a bunch of kids with baseball bats. That's right, Ma. Killed by children. Children taught by people like you, because everybody knows that queers don't matter. Queers don't love, and those that do deserve what they get.
I think that all mothers are the same. You know, I mean, the fact that the child is a homosexual doesn't really change it all that much. Parents, I think, do want to control their children and do want them to become what they dream of them becoming, you know, rather than what they want. I mean, we can't help it. That's every human being in this world is born with that, you know, need to control.
This is where I'll be, between your father and your grandfather. And Phil over here's for you and your wife and your children, and Tatla over here's for you and your wife and your children.
Oh, Ma.
You might meet a nice girl someday. You never know.
Believe me, Ma. I know.
God doesn't know. My son knows.
All right, let's go.
Despite the unorthodox lifestyle of the characters, the basic themes of this movie, the search for love and acceptance, are universal.
If we could figure that out, we could have our own kids and we wouldn't have to adopt one. What should I put down for you?
The part of being gay is not the central thing of this part or of this piece, really. It's really about a family and relationships just like any other story. It's kind of traditional in that way. It's a pretty old-fashioned story.
The world is full of people with fears, especially afraid of things they don't understand or don't know, and there's nothing you can do about that, I guess, except to try and educate them. So once you educate them, they won't be frightened. I'm sure once they go and see the film, they'll be far less frightened of homosexuality. Because it's not fair to put all the blame on me. You think I didn't know about you, Arnold? Believe me, I knew, but I said no. I hoped. What's the difference? I knew when I turned my back. I wasn't the only one. You turned your back on me, too. Maybe I could have comforted you. Maybe I could have told you what to expect. You cheated me out of your life, and then blamed me for not being there.
Torch Song Trilogy premieres January 15th exclusively on Showtime.
It made my big toe shoot up in my boot.
It's music. It's Showtime. Natalie Cole, Robert Palmer, Belinda Carlisle, and more. Tropical rock, a hot night in Ibiza. Join some of the biggest names in the music business for an all-star tribute to Woody Guthrie and Leadbelly. And catch the best performances on the best of Coast to Coast. It's music. It's January. It's Showtime.
They want me to say, we mourn with the mothers of these two white boys. But the state of Mississippi won't even allow these white boys to be buried in the same cemetery as this Negro boy. I say I have no more love to give.
Mississippi, 1964, the Civil Rights Movement, a divided nation.
They are powerless against us if every single Anglo-Saxon Christian one of us stands together.
This is the setting for Mississippi Burning. A setting brought to life with startling intensity by the Oscar-winning cinematography of Peter Bizet and the direction of Oscar nominee Alan Parker. It was on a dusty Mississippi road on a June night in 1964 that 3 civil rights workers were shot dead.
We'll be all right. Sure you will, nigger lover.
He's seen your face. That ain't good. You don't want him seeing your face.
Oh, it don't make no difference no more.
A volatile blend of fact and fiction, Mississippi Burning is loosely based on the story of the federal investigation into the young men's disappearance. Gene Hackman, who earned an Oscar nomination for his role, and Willem Dafoe play 2 FBI agents with dramatically different styles.
Mr. Bird? Yes, sir. There's a telephone back at the truck stop. Get to it, get on it, and get me 100 more men here by morning. 100? 100. What, Bureau people, sir? I don't care if it's the goddamn Army. I want this entire swamp searched. Yes, sir. Don't do it, Mr. Ward. Let's start a war. There was a war long before we got here.
It was a very tense situation doing this film, not only because of the script having a lot of dramatic tension, but because we were shooting in Mississippi, very close to some of the areas that some of these events took place. A lot of the people that we talked to had been involved in one way or another in the actual event, knew people who were, there was an involvement there. You felt like you were part of a historical event.
In fact, local citizens from Alabama and Mississippi were hired to play extras in the film. These Jackson businessmen were cast as FBI agents, and dairy farmer Charles Whatley appears in his first film role.
If we forget it, then we think it can't happen again, and it can happen again. I think it's good that we remember that there was a time in the South when blacks were second-class citizens, when they had separate drinking fountains and separate water fountains, and that's the tragedy of history. People forget it, and it repeats itself.
It is hard to forget the images director Alan Parker imprints on the mind.
Now you know what you're getting into. I'm going to call Washington. I need more agents.
Some people think that maybe I spend too much time with the look of the film. But it's not to prettify it. It's generally to make it look as horrible as possible. We just try that a bit harder to give images that stay with you long after you've finished the film, long after you've walked out of the theatre.
Let him be
Mississippi Burning, winner of an Academy Award for Cinematography, premiering January 20th only on Showtime.
It's time again for the ACE Awards, cable TV's annual salute to the finest programs that cable has to offer. This year, Showtime is proud to have presented our stars, series, specials, and concerts that have been nominated for this prestigious honor.
That's the byline show.
Who will the winners be? January 14th will be a night to remember when our stars come out for the ACE Awards. Check local listings for details.
I think that as the world gets more frightening and perilous, which it does, families are just going to mean more to people. Obviously, they can't be as large. Any responsible person knows that. But the idea of having a family and operating from that is going to mean more and more and more to people. The concept of family is already changing, too. I mean, gay people can be families. I think we might even get back more into the non-nuclear family. In other words, different generations living together. Just for a whole lot of economic reasons and so forth, but also because just the sense of pulling the wagons together in a circle. Just as, you know, this thing that's happening with the environment is frightening. This thing that's happening with nuclear proliferation is frightening. There's a lot of frightening things down the road. And I think that may cause families to pull together more, as it always did in the past. That's why families were at one time so popular, because people felt unsafe.
Whoa, you're here! On an all-new episode of It's Garry Shandling Show.
When you marry someone, you marry the whole family.
Married? Married? I'm not getting married. Can anyone confirm that? It'll be great. I can't wait to meet your dad. He sounds like a great guy. And your brother, Chester, I'll go with you.
No, actually, Garry, you're staying in here tonight.
All right, we can talk! I got some really bad news for you.
What?
Your boyfriend snores.
No, he doesn't.
Aha, caught you.
It all happens on the next It's Garry Shandling Show. Premiering Friday on Showtime. It was just a routine stakeout for two undercover cops.
Oh, I love my job so much.
Until one went too far under.
I was supposed to be watching the house, right? So I was watching the house from the inside. What a bozo. I don't believe this.
You like spicy?
I love spicy. I'm gonna kill him. Honey, I'm home.
No funny stuff.
You used to be a hell of a cop, man. I'm in over my head here. Get out of the house. See what I want. Get out of the house, man. Look at me.
You won't see it on HBO or Cinemax. Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez, Stakeout. Saturday on Showtime.
Some people have birds. I have a rat.
It's the one and only Jonathan Winters.
How quick you are.
With a traveling roadshow that's...
Ooh, raking in the dough, boy.
Warning, you may find it painfully funny. And dangerously wild.
Might as well get in on it.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Winters. Welcome to my incredible roadshow and these 4 outstanding performers.
Jonathan Winters and his traveling roadshow. Premiering Saturday on Showtime.
Good thing we're having a good time. Good thing, yeah, it's showtime. Whoa.
Right after Adventures in Babysitting, a man framed for murder battles to outsmart his blackmailers, Roy Scheider and Anne Margaret in 52 Pickup on Showtime.
Showtime Exclusive Presentation rated PG-13 by the Motion Picture Association of America. Parents may wish to consider whether children under 13 should view this picture.